Hi, I'm Heath, and I'm a projectionist. One of the perks of working for a movie theater is that I get to see free movies each week, so I've decided to watch and review a new movie every week. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, that's a great idea. I wish I could be involved. Well, you can, because you get to vote for what movie I watch and review next. And that, in a nutshell, is the Projectionist Project. Did I leave that turned on? Huh. Crap.
Paranormal Activity is a series of films about idiots with cameras. The first Paranormal Activity was about an extremely annoying couple, Katie and Mika, poorly played by Katie and Mika. Katie was haunted on and off again when she was a kid, and she feels it's happening again now. So, Mika films themselves in the hopes of making a sex tape. And also maybe catching some demon footage. Mostly, though, he just catches doors slamming and loud foot stomping noises. Apparently, the demon is a grumpy teenager. Then Katie gets possessed and kills Mika. Well, that's one annoying character down. At least we won't have to deal with him in Paranormal Activity 2, right? Except Paranormal Activity 2 takes place mostly before the first one. So Katie and Mika randomly invade it with their poor acting. The second movie revolves around Katie's sister, Christy, and her family. One day they come home to find their house completely trashed. So they install some security cameras to catch any future burglars. But instead, they mostly catch door slamming and loud foot stomping noises. While I really disliked the first movie, the second movie was more just meh. I mean, everything was put together better, but it was also less scary. Most of that is probably because before any sort of activity, there was this low rumbling noise that kind of spoils any of the scares because you can see them coming. Another thing, Christy tells Katie all about the hauntings, but Katie doesn't even mention it once in the first movie, and then this movie completely loses steam at the end because of this stupid transferring the curse to a blood relative thing, just so it can fit into the first movie. And then, when evil Katie finally shows up and kills everybody and takes Christy's baby boy, the movie just has no energy left, and it's not scary at all. It actually feels kind of boring. Anyway, on to Paranormal Activity 3. Which starts off before Paranormal Activity 2. Katie shows up to Christy's house with a box of VHS tapes from their childhood. Thankfully, we get no Mika in this movie. Anyway, those VHS tapes disappear in the burglary from the second movie. Even though in the second movie, Christy said the only thing that was taken was a bracelet. Then, the movie shows us what was on those tapes. Not sure how, since they're missing. Is the demon showing us these tapes? I do like the idea of going back in time every movie to reveal more mythology and possibly change your views on the previous movies. Too bad these films do it pretty sloppily and with plenty of plot holes. If you would like to see this idea done properly, let me direct you to She's in the Shower and She's in the Bedroom. And be sure to keep an eye out for the upcoming She's in the Dressing Room. They're like the Paranormal Activity series, except they're funny on purpose. Also, they don't suck. Ah! So, back to 1988. We meet a young Katie and Christy, their mom Julie, who looks like Zooey Deschanel if she wasn't a stick, and their new stepfather Dennis, who looks like Mika from the first movie, but is 65% less annoying. Dennis is a wedding videographer whose VHS tapes appear to have better quality than the first two movies. He decides to film a sex tape with Julie, but gets interrupted by an earthquake. The earthquake happened before they started doing anything, so Dennis can't claim it was caused by his impressive lovemaking skills. Anyway, when they leave to go check on the kids, some CGI dust falls on something invisible. The next day, Dennis sees this and shows his fellow video editor and sidekick, Randy. More strange things start happening, and Dennis blames it on Christy's invisible friend, Toby. Which really pisses off Toby. Which results in him slamming doors and making loud foot stomping noises. The activity in this movie is far more frequent and more inventive than what was in the first two movies, but it's still kind of predictable and worse, not scary. There was a nice change up by having Dennis attach a camera to an oscillating fan. Those scenes were probably the best in the movie. My favorite being the scene with the bedsheet and the babysitter. It started off kind of cute and funny and then quickly became spooky. It was the only scene in the movie that legitimately creeped me out. The rest of Toby's antics were impressively done and nice looking. They just weren't scary. In fact, a lot of it just came off as funny. The Bloody Mary scene in particular was pretty hilarious, mostly due to Randy's reactions. The thing is, though, I'm not sure if it was intended to be as funny as it turned out being. I know some scenes were supposed to be funny, and honestly, a lot of the comedy in this movie actually works, unlike any time Mika thought he was being funny in the first two movies. Extracurricular. Anyway, Toby's antics get more and more outrageous, and more unbelievable. The characters, pace, and to some degree the plot get better with each movie, but at the same time the believability and the horror suffers. I mean, the first movie, even though bad, actually felt like a homemade movie, and possibly real, making the scares that worked seem genuinely scary, whereas each sequel seems more and more like an actual movie, and the scares, though occasionally interesting and well thought out, become less scary. And they frequently reuse gags to the point that they just lose all impact. The dragging scenes look cool, but you're not frightened. And characters just standing there staring at other characters sleeping while the movie fast forwards just makes me want to fast forward through the movie even faster. It's just incredibly boring. I mean, I'm getting sleepy just talking about it. So, then comes the end. Unlike the previous movies, they do the sensible thing and leave the house. They go to Grandma's, where things actually get weirder. Weird, but not actually scary. Also kind of confusing. It feels like they possibly contradicted some things that were established in the first two movies, especially concerning Katie and Christy's mom. Also, in the first two movies, there were a lot of references to their house burning down, and it was even in the Paranormal Activity 3 trailer, but at no point did it happen in the movie. The movie didn't answer any questions, it just created more unimportant, convoluted problems. It just felt entirely pointless and a cheap way to leave the movie open for another prequel sequel that explains away the plot holes that this movie made. So even though this movie had a few good things going for it, it's ultimately boring, pointless, and unnecessary. Don't bother watching it or any of the other ones. It's not worth it. I mean, the demon's name is Toby, for crying out.
Hey, I can't help what my master named me. You think it's easy going through life as a demon named Toby? Nobody takes you seriously. And how dare you tell people not to go see these movies? That really hurts my feelings, you know. I've been working really hard on these things, trying to get my story out there. It's time for people to finally know what I do and fear me appropriately. So screw you, mister. I'm scary. I mean, did you see the scene where I blew on that babysitter chick? That's downright eerie, man. And when I pulled on that little girl's hair, I'm all kinds of malevolent. You're just a goober and I hate you.
Yeah, go cry to your mommy.
Hey guys, I'm back. So the demon and I had a talk and I was being an idiot. Also, I have a stupid name and face. But still, I feel like I could use my video making talents to make an epic movie that I'd like to call Paranormal Activity 4. The movie would star Allie, the daughter from the second movie, trying to hunt down Katie and Hunter. Her boyfriend Brad would film her attempts to track down that sexy demon with an awesome name, Toby. She would find the missing VHS tapes and learn that Julie didn't actually die but went insane and burned their house down after being brainwashed by her mom, effectively filling in all those pesky plot holes that I've not heard anyone at all complaining about. Allie then finds Katie, and an epic battle between Allie and Toby goes down. Stuff explodes, things get thrown everywhere, and there are the loudest foot-stomping noises you've ever heard. In the end, Toby wins, and starts a successful film franchise about his exploits. He finally feels accepted and loved by his family, who are proud of his achievements.
So, Paramount execs, do I have the job? Will you take me back? I think I've apologized enough about that whole Footloose remake. I thought it's what the people would want. Nostalgia for the parents and booty shaking for the kids. But I promise I won't go outside of my comfort zone again. I promise.
Here are your choices. Ooh, sexy Taylor Lautner. Ooh, sexy Morgan Freeman. Ooh, sexy Daniel Craig. Ooh, sexy not Kevin Bacon. Ooh, sexy Justin Timberlake. Ooh, Puss in Boots. Ooh, sexy Johnny Depp. Ooh, that sexy Nazi from Inglourious Bastards. Vote for the movie you think I should review next in the sidebar on minipineapple.com. See ya!